Hello and welcome to Lower Merion Libraries Online. On this show, we bring you some of the best fun and entertaining programs offered by our 6 libraries. All 6 Lower Merion libraries are open for in-person visitation, but some restrictions still apply. Please visit LMLS.org for all the details. As always though, our staff and librarians bring you a variety of exciting and interesting online programs for your viewing pleasure. This is in addition to a whole suite of apps and websites available at LMLS.org, like Libby, where you can access a huge library of ebooks and audiobooks, perfect for your summer reading and listening. And speaking of summer and reading, here's Emily and Pancake to tell you all about the library's summer reading program, Tales and Tales.
Hi, I'm Emily, and this is Pancake. And we're here to tell you about our favorite thing in the entire world, summer reading. Lower Merion Library System has summer reading programs available for all ages.
This year's theme is Tales and Tales, and the program lasts from June 21st to August 14th, with pre-registration starting on June 1st at lmls.beanstack.org. If you're old school, there's a printable log and kit with activities to do at home that can be found online at lmls.org/summer reading. Or you can keep track of your reading and compete in reading challenges through the Beanstack app or website. Download the app to your phone or tablet today. Parents can use the family account feature to track all of your children's reading, as well as your own from a single login. Scan barcodes to add titles. Use the timer during reading sessions to track minutes. Earn badges and be entered into prize drawings. The Beanstack app offers programs for all age groups. It could be you reading. It could be your child reading. It could be you reading to your child. It could be your child reading to you or to a sibling or a pet. You get the idea. Everyone can participate. And don't forget to check out all the fun online programming we have available during summer reading and all year long. Have any questions? Feel free to stop by any of our libraries for more information or visit our website at lmls.org.
Pancake and I can't wait for summer reading, and we hope you're as excited as we are. Bye!
The summer reading program continues through August 14th. Log on to lmls.beanstack.org to log your summer reading and earn some fun badges. Well, we have to take a break, but stay tuned. There's lots more to come here on Lower Merion Libraries Online. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Lower Merion Libraries Online, where we feature some great fun and educational virtual programs offered at our 6 Lower Merion libraries. You can find out more about what's going on at the libraries by signing up for one or more of our newsletters. Just click on the newsletter tab and fill out the online form for the library or program you'd like to learn about. Now back to the videos featuring a fun craft from Miss Jackie and Miss Casey at Livington Library.
Hey everybody, it's Miss Jackie and Miss Casey from the Livington Library Junior Room, and we're here today to do a Flag Day craft with you. This is going to be a Flag Day wreath, and it's made up of bandanas, embroidery rings, pipe cleaners, glue dots, and we have red bandanas, white bandanas, and blue bandanas. You need 5 of each, and we are each doing a wreath, so these are 8-inch embroidery rings. So you're going to keep both of them together. You're not going to separate them. You're going to keep them screwed together. The first step we have to do is we have to fold the bandanas to put onto the rings. So we have bandanas here. We folded a whole bunch ahead of time because you need to fold 15 bandanas. So this is how you're going to do it. I got these bandanas from Amazon and they were pretty cheap. This is what you get. You're going to do it diagonal so that you make a triangle out of the bandana.
Fold it.
You're going to fold it, yep. And you're going to like fold it in half, corner to corner. You're going to start at the top of the triangle, this part right here, and you're going to fold it in. And you're going to make a big roll out of it. And you can flatten it down as you roll it to make it more easier to work with. So it looks like this. Okay? So we already did 15 of them. We did 5 red, 5 blue, and 5 white. And we rolled them all up real nice. It's quite a bit of time, so we did that ahead of time. Next thing we're going to do is you're going to get your embroidery rings. And we're going to tie the bandanas onto the rings. Okay, so first we want to alternate red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white.
And blue?
No, we do the blue all together last.
Got it.
Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to take one of your folded red, you're going to fold it in half like this, so that there's a little hook here, little hole. You're going to lay it under your embroidery ring, like this, so that the round part is under the ring. Okay, like this. It's easier to do if you lay it down. And you're going to hold the circle part, grab the ears of the bandana and pull it through the circle part and pull it on to your embroidery ring, like that. Oh. You can pull the knot down so it's real tight against the ring. Okay? Now, don't worry about the ears of the bandana standing up right now because we're going to use pipe cleaners inside with glue dots to make them more stiff. But we're going to do this for every bandana. So you're going to fold it, make the hole, put that underneath your ring, put your hand through it and grab those ears of the bandana and pull it through. And you're going to have to move the knot down in order to make it tight. Okay? You're going to do this for every single one. And make them real close together, real tight together. Okay? So it looks like this. You can fix your knots if you're not happy with the way they're laying. And just pull them real tight. And you're going to do that for every single one.
Red, white, red, white.
Red, white, red, white. Correct.
It's good for motor skills.
Yeah, you can make sure that your ears are the same length as you pull them through. That helps. So this is a little time consuming, but it does work.
It's a good craft for older kids too.
Yeah.
Little ones aren't quite there yet.
Yeah. You just want to make sure you're doing them all the same way so that the parts of the tie are all facing the same way. Now, once your red, white, and red, white, and red, white are done, you're going to put all 5 blue ones on the edge. So the way you do it is you always want the blue to be on the left side, like the American flag, right? So that's how you want to position them. And you tie them the same way. And don't worry if it gets really tight, you can always squeeze them together real good. You'll get to the part of the ring where the screw is, so you just go right over it. All right, so there you go. There's that. Now see how the edges are a little floppy? If you don't like that, what you do is you take pipe cleaners, any color because you're not going to see them, and you're going to glue them inside of the ear so that they stand them up. So you might want to double them if your bandanas are a little short. And you just shove them in with a glue dot on the top and a glue dot on the bottom and shove it in there. And it makes it stand up real nice. You can also use a hot glue gun. You don't have to use glue dots like we are. And we're not going to put you through watching us do every single one. But, so you put a glue dot on the top, glue dot on the bottom. Here, I'll do it in this blue one. You're just going to shove it in side. You can open it a little bit and shove it in there. And just make sure the glue sticks to it, to the bandana.
Like in between the ears?
Yeah, in between the folds. Okay? And you can do that for each one. But this is what it looks like when you're done. And you can get a hook and a piece of string, and you can hang it on your door if you like it, or on your wall, yeah, as over your garage. But this is the American flag wreath. So you could open the bandanas at the end too and make it more flary. You know what I mean? So it's just not, you can open them like this.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
You know? And then put the pipe cleaners in. Makes it fuller. The prep time is what takes the longest, is folding all the bandanas. But yeah, this is a really cute craft. So hope you enjoyed this craft. Everybody show us, if you make one, show us a picture of it in the comments below. And unfold all your handkerchiefs if you want it to be fuller. This is really cute. Yeah, so you can always get a piece of string and a hook and then hang it on your door. All right, everybody have a great Flag Day. We'll see you soon at the Livington Library, June 7th, which is today. We are opening the children's room. And we still have limited services a little bit. You still have to wear a mask, but the children's room,
seating.
Yeah, limited seating, but the upstairs is now going to be open. So come by and see us, check out some books, and bring your library card, and we will see you soon at the Livington Library. Happy Flag Day!
Once again, you can view this great video and all the other great videos on the Library System's YouTube channel. Open up the YouTube app or website and search Lower Merion Library System. And be sure to follow the Library System's other social media sites on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Well, we have to take another break, but please stay tuned. There's more great virtual library programming to come. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Lower Merion Libraries Online, where we share some of the best virtual programs our librarians have developed just for you. Lower Merion Libraries are open for in-person visitation, but some restrictions remain. Please visit our website for all the details. Here's one last video for this month, a talk by New York Times best-selling fiction author Jeffrey Deaver.
Thank you all, and thank you, Andrew. Thank you, the Livington Library and the entire system. And hello to some friends I see out there, Jean and Cindy Kuhn, my sister Julie Deaver, and that's a young adult author. Jean's an author. Julie's a famous young adult author, and that is, if you can see the pictures, I don't know if we're sharing everything now, but that is a 29-pound Maine Coon cat you were looking at right there. Now, I have been writing full-time now for 30 years, I've written 40 some odd novels, 80 short stories, many poems, a nonfiction law book, an album of country western songs, a radio play or two, a nonfiction law book, which I might just have mentioned. But there's one thing I've never tried in this whole business of writing: plagiarism. By that, I mean this. I'm being a little facetious now, but there's a little core of truth in it. I've been working on a book about writing for quite some time now. And the approach I take is to use other people's quotations, other authors' quotations about writing as a springboard to explain how I approach the same topic. The themes will be arranged in relatively chronological order, so that we'll look at why do we write, how do we get our ideas, do we structure the book or not, go through the very beginning all the way through to the end. These are authors who are far more articulate and intelligent than I am. That's why I'm stealing their quotations, but with attribution, of course. First, however, I have to give you a caveat or two. And these hesitations or these concerns I'll share with you in the form of quotations, like everything else we're going to listen to tonight. And this was a quotation from the wonderful New Yorker roundtable writer Lillian Hellman. And she said this: "If I had to give young writers any advice about writing, I would say, never listen to writers giving you advice about writing." From the great British writer Somerset Maugham, he said, "There are 3 simple rules for writing a great novel. Sadly, no one knows what they are." Well, with all respect to those wonderful writers, I am going to disagree a bit. I believe that given a desire to write, a willingness not to shy from the sweat labor involved, and a fair command of your chosen language, you can learn the skills to be a successful and published author. But I do want to say that nothing is more subjective than writing. What works for you works, and it may not work for me, it may not work for anybody else. So I want you to listen to what I'm going to say tonight with this one grain of salt. Imagine that I am not giving you advice and telling you how to write. I am giving myself advice. This is Jeff, maybe an older Jeff talking to a younger Jeff, saying, these are the things that have worked for me. And if you get a little tidbit out of them, if you are a writer or an aspiring writer, that will be all to the good. But I know you are all interested in books because you're here watching me tonight and not watching Desperate Housewives of Philadelphia, if that was in fact a show. So what I'm saying now is that you may learn a little bit about how we put together these miraculous little rectangular things called books. And so we begin. The first chapter in my tome is Why Write? William Safire said this: "I write because I enjoy expressing myself, and writing forces me to think a lot more coherently than when I'm shooting my mouth off in a bar." Reynolds Price: "I write because it's basically the only thing I'm really good at." Jonathan Safran Foer: "Why do I write? It's not because I want people to think I'm smart or even that I'm a good writer. I write because I want to end my loneliness. Books make people less alone. That, before and after everything else, is what books do. They show us that conversation is possible across distance." James Thurber: "I write because it's so much fun." Well, that brings us to the question. As I mentioned, these are springboards that kind of lead into me, so to speak, about how I approach things. Why do I write? I write because I was a nerd growing up, but I was a nerd when the word meant something. You know, nowadays, if you're a nerd, you're a billionaire with some kind of social networking app you've invented that shows cute cat videos. No, I was a nerd back in the good old days. I was pudgy, clumsy, socially inept. I had no talent for sports whatsoever. I was uniformly ignored by the cheerleaders and pom-pom girls. And the coaches on the 2 teams plotted like grand masters to make sure I ended up on the other guy's team. Oh, well, this was understandable because I was a terrible athlete. I'd stand in the outfield of the baseball pitch. I'd ignore the game completely. I'd stare at the sky, and I'd compose short stories and little poems that went something like this: "The score is tied, 3 boys on base. I see the batter's happy face as he grips that bat and looks my way. All I can do is hope and pray that he doesn't hit that ball to me. But we all know how it goes. He whacks that ball and it breaks my nose. Well, none of this mattered though. My nerdness, my inability to attract the attention of cheerleaders and pom-pom girls, my absolute lack of talent in sports, because I had something better. I had the Glen Ellen, Illinois Public Library, where I spent afternoons and I spent weekends, and I learned there that I knew books were better than sports. They were better than almost anything. Well, cheerleaders and pom-pom girls accepted much of the time. Books could take us away from our daily cares. They could teach us in those pre-internet days about places and people and phenomenon that we had no exposure to otherwise. And one thing about books I learned early on was very important. And I guess I'll describe this with an example. You probably were at some point the new kid on the schoolyard. You just moved to town. Or maybe it was your school and you saw somebody who just moved to town and they were, as children are, excruciatingly shy and they couldn't say a word to a soul. But you'd notice that they had under their arm a book, and it may have been Laura Ingalls Wilder, it may have been Edgar Rice Burroughs, it may have been The Hobbit by Tolkien. And what you'd do is you'd walk up to that kid and say, hey, pretty good book, huh? You get to the part about the dragon and their eyes lit up and your eyes lit up. And even though you didn't know that person from Adam or Eve, yes, you did. Why? Because books brought you together. And I knew when I witnessed that phenomenon that I wanted to be a writer. Well, let's look at chapter 2 now, finding a subject to write about. Remember, we're kind of going chronologically through the construction of a book. Francine Matthews said, I always heard write about what you know. I disagree. Write about what you love. You can always research the rest. Stephen King said this, writers remember everything, especially the hurts. Strip a writer to the buff, point to the scars, and he'll tell you the story of each small one. From the big ones, you get novels. A little talent is a nice thing to have if you want to be a writer, but the only real requirement is the ability to remember the story of each and every scar. Meg Cabot said, write the kind of story you'd like to read. People will give you all sorts of advice about writing, but if you're not writing something you like, no one else will like it either. Flannery O'Connor, any writer who has survived childhood has enough information and material about life to last them as a writer for the rest of his days. Me, what do I write about? Well, I make a living as a novelist, so I can't wait for the muse. I think about what Jack London said, you can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club. I look for ideas that will be what I call mint flavored toothpaste. What on earth do I mean by that? Very briefly, let's say I was a product designer for Procter & Gamble. I go to my boss and I say, hey, Fred, I've got this idea for a great product. I just had dinner with my girlfriend last night and we had pate. Have you ever had pate? And Fred doesn't have a lot of patience for me, but he says, pate, yeah, I know. It's overpriced liverwurst. And I say, well, it was really tasty. So I've got an idea, toothpaste that's liver flavored. And Fred looks me over and says, why? I said, well, it'll put us on the map. We'll get press. The consumers will flock to it. And Fred then says, well, Jeff, I have two questions for you. One is this a product for dogs and cats? Because that actually is not a bad idea. And I say, no, it's for people. And Fred asks his second question, which is, Jeff, do you have your resume in order? Why? Because you're fired. And with good cause, because people don't want liver flavored toothpaste. They want mint flavored toothpaste or cinnamon flavored toothpaste. My point being, we writers owe readers everything. And it is our obligation not to write for ourselves because we think it's cool or neat. We have a clever idea. We write for them. We write for the reader so that when they come to the end of my book, they smile. I have happy endings in my books. There's loss along the way. There's a little violence and bloodshed, but basically they're happy ending stories. That's maybe a tear of poignancy, maybe a chill of excitement when the Lincoln Rhyme solves the case or Colter Shaw draws down on the bad guy and stops him. But that's what people want That's what people want to read. So I keep in the back of my mind, it's not about me, Jeff. It's all about the readers.
You can find this complete video on the Library System's YouTube channel. Open up the YouTube app or website and search Lower Merion Library System. Well, we're out of time for this episode, but please tune in again next month for more of the best virtual programs from our 6 Lower Merion libraries. You can visit LMLS.org anytime for more information, including a weekly schedule of programs, story times, and a whole suite of apps and websites with links to a huge variety of content. If you have any questions about what services are available as the libraries reopen, click on the Frequently Asked Questions link in the middle of the page. Finally, you can always call your local library with any other specific questions or requests. Thanks again for watching Lower Merion Libraries Online. We'll see you next time.